Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another English language lesson for grade 7. And today we want to look at narrative writing, more specifically, conflict. Are you ready? Now, I have a question for you, boys and girls. Do you like being in problems? Now, I'm quite sure the obvious answer is no. Now, with that in mind, let's dive in to what is conflict. Now, conflict is a struggle between two opposing forces or characters in any form of literature. It is that element that makes the story interesting. Without it, the story has no life. So when you don't have conflict in your story, it is boring. We like watching movies and television series because of the conflict. That creates what? Interest. All right. Now, conflict is equal to struggle, problem, difficulty, battle, clash, fight. Whenever any of these arise in a story, we refer to it as conflict. I want you to shout it out. Conflict. Now, there are two broad categories of conflict. They are external conflict and internal conflict. Now, let's look at the two. External conflict. This type of conflict occurs outside of the character's mind or heart and is usually a struggle with another character, nature, society, etc. So when you have persons fighting on the road or persons quarreling, that's an example of external conflict. Now let's look at internal conflict. This occurs inside a character's mind or heart. It often involves making a difficult decision. So when mommy says not to do something and she leaves the house and you are now sitting there thinking, should I do this thing? Should I not do it? Maybe she wouldn't find out. You are experiencing internal conflict. And with internal conflict, you can't touch it, nor can you see it because it occurs on the inside. Let's look at a few examples. After breaking his mother's favorite vase, Raj struggles to decide whether he should tell his mother the truth or attempt to hide his mistake and blame the family dog. In this example, it is clear that Raj has a difficult decision to make. If he tells the truth, then he may be punished and will also have to face the hurt and disappointment of his mother. If he blames the dog, then he is spared but would have to live with the guilt of lying. What should he do? Now here, Raj is surely having which type of conflict? Internal conflict. Very good. Now let's dive into the activity for today. Are you ready? I'm going to present you with a scenario and you are going to tell me whether this character, whether the person involved is experiencing an internal conflict or an external conflict. Are you ready? Let's go. Kristen was once teased for being heavy, but then she lost a lot of weight. Now Kristen is very skinny, but there is just one problem. She still sees an overweight girl when she looks in the mirror. Her friends and family try to convince her of how beautiful she is, but she doesn't believe them. Worse still, she is continuing to diet. Will Kristen be able to align her body image with reality, or will she destroy herself? Now in this scenario, Kristen is having an Internal or external conflict? What is your answer? Kristen is having an internal conflict. So she's battling within herself. You know what? I've lost all this weight, but still, I don't feel the way I want to feel. Scenario 2. After years of saving money, John bought his dream home. It was a 2-story beach house in a secluded area. John thought it was absolutely perfect until he noticed the termites. First, there were just a few nibbling away at the back deck, but soon there were thousands. This is the story of how John went to war with the termites, a war that he eventually won, but one that cost him his dream home. Now, John is caught up in which type of conflict? External or internal? What is your answer? Now, if you said external, you're correct. Now, someone watching this can actually see John and what he's doing to get rid of the termites. It's happening on the outside. It's not happening within his mind. And finally, scenario 3. When an evil ogre kidnaps the princess, the brave knight Louis sets out to return her safely to the castle. Along the way, he must defeat monsters, powerful wizards, and an evil dragon. Will Louis prevail on his quest, or will the powerful ogre crush him? Now, Louis's conflict is internal or external? What is your answer? His conflict is external. Very good. It's happening outside of his mind. Now, I want to thank you for participating in class today. I hope you had a great time. And whenever a conflict arises in your life or in someone else's life, I want you to think, is this internal or external? Until we meet again, this is Sir Jared, and I'm out.